It will always take time to reorganise players into groups and standing in the right formation for the next activity. So hopefully what you learnt in the last Netball Advantage unit will help you organise your players better. We want to arrange players as fewer times as possible in each training session. I try to only reorganise players roughly once in the warm-up activities, once in the ball handling activities, and once for the skill development section. This way you only have to reorganise the players about 3 times in each training session. This way, players get more activity time and less coach instructing time. This equals more fun, more activity, so players are learning more and getting fitter. Also, because some players won't pick up a ball at home, we want them to be catching and throwing the ball as many times as possible in each training session, so more activity time helps achieve this. Let's look at this simple activity of passing in pairs. You could get them to pass like this for 5 minutes, but players will start doing it slower and with less quality. So let's do 5 minutes with players still in pairs, but doing a variety of activities. It's harder work for the coach as you have to stay alert and actively involved in the session, but everyone will have more fun, including you. Players are in pairs with the ball at the transverse line. They can pass in pairs for just 15 seconds. Then race for 15 seconds. Now try and get more passes than last time. They can use their opposite hand. Drive towards the ball. Straight passes. Drive towards the ball, landing on one foot, then the other. They could drive towards the ball with high passes. And reflexes, dropping the ball from shoulder height. Now do side to side. And one hand control, side to side. So there's 5 minutes of activities in pairs. You can see that was easy to move from one activity to the next. Players worked hard and had much more fun than just passing in pairs for 5 minutes. Now you could have players in groups of 3 with 2 balls in half a third each. You could do stationary passes, side to side, one hand control, side to side surprises, jumping, and fast surprises. Now using only one ball, they could do on the move in groups of 3. And keepings off. I find that session by session, if I change whether ball handling is done in 2s, 3s, 4s or a group, then training really easily gets varied. Let's look at good old square drill. While you're watching, Think about how you can keep the players in the same setup for at least 5 minutes, simply by varying the activity and keeping them challenged. You could simply change the direction the ball is moving and change back again. Get players to run early and then change direction before they catch the ball. You could simply add a lob pass on one side and change direction on the other. Just mix it up so players have to think while keeping great ball handling skills. It's pretty usual that each time you slightly change the activity, the standard of the player's ball handling will decrease. Over time, you want this quality to stay the same, or better still, improve. Here's another activity, pings. What variations could you make? Think about changing sides. Running to either side. What about having a change of direction before they catch? Try pivoting and then passing back to where they came from. Get them to do it as fast as they can. Use a shoulder pass only. What about getting them to count how many passes they can do without dropping the ball? Keep all variations simple, keeping the players alert and challenged. Let's now add variety to circle passing. I love this activity. I like watching young players improve their decision-making process of choosing who to pass to next. Let's think of some variations to this activity. Chest passes, shoulder passes, how many passes in 20 seconds? Repeat and better their score. They could race against another group. Pass and run behind that player. Race against another group doing this activity. Each have a turn passing to each other. Each have a turn passing 2 balls, like pepper pot. Why is it important to vary an activity? So players don't get bored doing the one activity for too long? So players have to keep thinking? So players have to use slightly different skills? So time isn't wasted transitioning players between activities? The answer is yes. All of them are great reasons to vary an activity. Another question for you. Check ways you can vary an activity so players don't get bored, but are still in a similar setup. Change direction or sides. Count how many passes they can do in a certain time. Count how many catches they can do without dropping the ball. Use a change of direction. Use different types of passes. That's right. All these will certainly keep your training varied. Now you should be able to vary any activity.